Ladies and gentlemen, what a beautiful day, what a beautiful performance from Arsenal. Fulham versus Arsenal, 3-0, clean sheet, player ratings. Let's get it. Aaron Ramsdale. I think Aaron Ramsdale overall, he was good. He made a critical save, as I mentioned on my quick reaction, to keep it 0-0, I think, at that point. And these kind of title-winning saves that he makes in critical moments to kind of keep us in the game or allow us to then, galvanize us and propel us to reach new heights and go and get the goal. I think he did great. A few shaky moments, a few really shaky moments in the second half. I think one or two in the first half, passing the ball, mispassing, and putting pressure on himself when he doesn't really need to do that. That's the only other remaining thing he needs to get out of his system. I think the rashness when it comes to corners and stuff like that, he's worked on it. It looks like he's performed better today in that aspect. And now it's just the case of, the passing and letting that pressure, when he's trying to sort of make the opposition player come towards him, the opposition striker come towards him, and it's just, creating that pressure, which anything can happen at that moment, and it's most likely going to be a goal for the opposing team. But overall, he had a good game and a critical save to keep it 0-0. So Ramsdale gets a 7 for me. Clean sheet as well, and we know that that's what he wants. William Saliba, I think he was, very close to being man of the match. Even though he didn't score, I think he had a fantastic showing in defence, kept it solid, kept it ticking, kept it smooth. The defence was back to where we need it to be, and all of them are going to get high ratings. But for Saliba, I'm going to keep to a 7, so a 7 for Saliba. Ben White just next to him, I think he had a very good game again. Again, these are, these players like Ben White and Saliba, they're really looking like they are unstoppable first 11 players. They just slot in so well to that first 11. He knows how to work much better with Saka. He knows how to work much better overall with the midfield, slot into going into the inverted positions in midfield, and obviously running in on flanks behind Saka. So 7 for me as well. Gabriel for me is going to get a 9 because, again, just the leadership, the interceptions, one-on-one duels, scoring a goal, his celebration, it's so mad, it's all going down. He is a absolute juggernaut of a defender, a titan in that defense, leader of men, leader of young men, and you can see that his influence is just growing even more and even more and even more. And it was a brilliant performance. I can't think of anything in the game that Gabriel did that was weary, shaky, dodgy, questionable, nothing. It was literally a fantastic performance. 9, almost man of the match as well, to be honest with you. On the left-hand side, Zinchenko. Listen, this is what I'm talking about. Zinchenko is an unbelievable player, a player that we have, he's doing things on the pitch that are redefining his role or the role of a left back. And put all of that into context, but take away the misplaced passes, take away sometimes the dodgy moments, the moments where he allows too much pressure to come on himself and sometimes gets dispossessed. Today, you didn't see any of that. Today, it was spotless. Today, it was really a case of him being efficient in what he's trying to do. He was efficient each and every single step of the way. 8 for me for Zinchenko. He was fantastic. Like, that boy, I'm telling you, man. Pep Guardiola, if Man City do not win the league, and if Arsenal indeed do win the league, he'll be absolutely kicking himself for letting go of Gabriel Jesus and Zinchenko. Going into the midfield, Thomas Partey, brilliant game. The conductor, the engine room, the general, the everything. Him and Xhaka literally dominated that midfield. I thought we were going to have a bit more of trouble, with, kind of silky players in the midfield. You got Pereira, you got Lukic, you got Reed. I thought I thought they just wasn't gonna have as much time as I saw them having in this game. Xhaka and Partey, both of them get an 8 for me. I think they were fantastic, and I think they those two go hand in hand in the midfield, starting 11 in the Premier League. It's incredible that we've got Partey firing all cylinders. He looks like he's fully 100% fit now. 8 for both of them. Obviously, Xhaka as well. He was, again, keeping everything ticking, great at getting forward in that left sort of side of the pitch. And he's just you know what? At this point, we can safely say it's okay to give him a brand new contract, to renew his contract. He's not going to go anywhere. He's not going to drop the standard. He's a leader as well. Xhaka is one of the true experienced leaders. We've got a few leaders here and there now, but in terms of experienced leaders, not so much experience in terms of title winning and, trophy lifting, because for that you've got Zinchenko and so forth, but somebody who's played an incredible amount of games because obviously the age that he has, and always plays, from a club standpoint and from an international team standpoint. So, yeah. Finishing off on midfield, Odegaard. Listen, Odegaard, the press, he was initiating the press. He was the one that gave the energy needed and required to get for Martinelli, but especially Odegaard. I was proper watching him, like, seeing what he's doing. When he's onto the defenders, and that's what kind of gave the impetus for us to really have that energy and have that drive and try to get that goal. And eventually we got that breakthrough. We got the 1-0. And scoring as well. Brilliant touch to bring it down. Brilliant touch to finish it on his left foot. Odegaard, captain's performance. Brilliant. I'm giving him a 9. I think he was, because again, remember I said goal scorers are going to get special ratings. If he didn't score, I would have probably given him an 8. It would have been like Odegaard doing what Odegaard's been doing over recent months. But the fact that you're now pinching it off. Remember the start of the season, the one thing we said about Odegaard, he needs to be in games more, especially away games, not just turning up at the Emirates, and he needs to have more output. And that's exactly what he's applied to his game. It's a beautiful thing. Like, Arteta is coaching the hell out of these young boys, Arteta is a bad boy coach, but we'll get to his rating soon. Anyways, a high 9 for me for Odegaard. Now, the front three. The front three. Bukayo Saka, quiet game. Not as loud as all the rest of them. Didn't have a unique standout moment that I can remember, but overall still effective in what he does and what he tries to do. It's not always going to work out. And you're not always going to have the Bukayo Saka that you see sometimes, giving 10 out of 10 performances every single game. It's just, the performance levels need to be absolutely on point. Don't forget, Bukayo Saka is still a young boy, You need to have an expectation to see this when he's in 25s and 26s to be consistent throughout 38 games and be high-level elite consistent. But at times, you can just do the bare minimum in a sense where your team is more or less, on the ascendancy. Your team's winning. You don't need to go all out. Sometimes, you have to look at management, and he's somebody who needs a rest. I was so happy to see him coming off and getting a rest essentially, and finally. But yeah, not the most scintillating performance that you've seen from Bukayo Saka this season. For him, I'm going to give him a 7. We still won the game, 3-0, clean sheet, and there was moments that he contributed overall to the play and to the goals, just not obviously in assists and goals. But I'll still give Bukayo Saka, maybe a 6. Let me give Bukayo Saka a 6. Let me give him a standard 6. On the left-hand side, Gabriel Martinelli. Listen, this kid, he's back. I'm going to keep it simple. He's back. He is the Brazilian truth. He is the truth. Him with Jesus, and we're going to get to Jesus. Trust me, man. Give that boy some energy. Give that boy an arm. Wrap your arm around him, and he's gonna run through brick walls for you. And this is what he's doing. And now he's becoming clinical. He's becoming a true predator. Gabriel Martinelli gets a 9 for me. Well taken goals. Brilliant header. A disallowed goal because it was offside. Another one where he missed literally just because it was bad contact. Like, he is, he's learning how to be in critical positions at critical times. And the sky's the limit for Gabriel Martinelli. I'm happy that he didn't get dropped continuously and kind of come off the bench. He's one of the, one game was enough for him to say, yo, I need to rise up my levels again. And so said, so done. High 9. And then, of course, up front, Leandro Trossard. My absolute man of the match. I think it's fair to say he's pretty much all Arsenal fans' man of the match, including the media and so forth. Listen, an incredible signing, a January signing, a high-impact signing, experienced player. He is somebody who he's very short. He's quite short. Every time I see him, I think he's more short than the last time that I've seen him, Because imagine, sometimes you like, imagine you see him stand up next to William Saliba, and you go, "Raw, William Saliba is mad tall, Leandro Trossard is mad short," but then you see him standing up next to someone who's shorter than Saliba, like Xhaka, for example, and you're like, "Raw, Leandro Trossard," do you know what I mean? And then someone even shorter, like Odegaard, and he's still short, and he still looks quite short. I'm like, "Raw," but in terms of being a baller, listen, let me tell you, lot, everybody knew he was a baller. I don't want to hear any comparisons to, Modric is going to be the player he's going to be in the future. Now is not the time. Yeah? He's understanding what this league is, going from the Ukrainian league, and yes, he's played a few games in the Champions League and whatnot. It's still different pace, it's still different atmosphere, it's still completely a different vibe, a different energy. Premier League is different. He's going to have to adjust. I'm sure Modric will come good at some point. Yeah? But Leandro Trossard, by far, the most reasonable, the better signing, and the more efficient signing, especially for what we're trying to do, which is to win the Premier League trophy for this season. Like, he's come in, 3 assists, the first and the only player to have 3 assists in the first half of an away game. Leandro Trossard, man of the match, chosen by the media, and he was everywhere. The interchange between him and Gabriel Martinelli is starting to look like a thing of its own. It's starting to look so liquid. It's starting to look so fluent, so organic, so natural. Once these boys solidify this defense and get back to liquid offensive football, it's done. It's done. The league is ours. I can only see us tripping in, like fumbling it in 2 more games. And when I say fumbling it, not specifically defeats. It might just be draws. Anfield, Etihad. But all other places, I think we've got enough in terms of a mental aspect and a physical aspect to go there and get the results that we need and get the points. High 9. But man of the match, high 9. He was, I'm not going to give exactly a 10 to anybody because I feel as though, you kind of need to go past you need to be talking hat tricks and stuff like that. Look, you could easily give Trossard a 10, but I'm gonna stick it to a high 9. And may it long continue. I think he deserves to start the next game and the game after that and potentially the game after that. And we keep easing Gabriel Jesus back in. Substitutes. All of the substitutes did amazingly well. Gabriel Jesus was obviously the standout substitute coming in late in the second half. Brilliant to see. We're back. He's back. He looks like a galvanized force, nearly scoring, nearly being set up by Fabio Vieira, who again came in and had an impact off the bench. Somebody who can unlock doors like this. Keep saying it, and I'll continue to say it. You're going to see more of it next season, guys. Get ready for Fabio Vieira next season. And who else came on? Teeny. So happy he's fit. The squad is fit. And this is what I said in my reaction. This is the first time we've seen the squad fully fit, barring obviously the long-term injury to Mohamed Elneny and obviously the situation with Nketiah. And it's fully fit with depth. Good enough depth in quality and good enough depth in cover, in depth in itself, by itself. Yeah, because post-January, we didn't, or pre-January, we didn't have Trossard and we didn't have Zinchenko. Do you know what we didn't have Kivior. Now we've added these extra players. This is what I'm saying. This is the true depth that we have, and the true quality is available now for the first time in this game here. It took us 27 games in the season, bruv, to get here. To actually, at least for the likes of myself, to be able to turn around and say, do you know what? We actually now have true manageable depth to take us to the finish line with quality, and everybody's fit in terms of starting 11 players and the majority of the backup squad players. Now, Mikel Arteta, overall rating, 9. It has to be a 9. He's been the most consistent manager in terms of all of the games, in terms of starting 11s. And you know what this does, you've seen Liverpool when they won the league. You've seen Manchester City, you have solid, consistent lineups each and every time, or more specifically in the same competition. This is what you got to do. The players need to be able to get to such a synchronized and such a cohesion level that you know, once they get there and once you notice that they get there, you keep them there because they can only move forward from there. So it's very difficult sometimes, you know, obviously injuries and outside factors, yellow cards, red cards, all of that jazz comes into play. But then that's when you take one out and you put another one, but you don't shake it too much. And this is what you've been seeing, you know. And of course, the fact that we love playing in Craven Cottage, you know, that was a chicken cottage today. We went there and we gave them a convincing, comfortable win. They did try to do a little something in the second half. You know, they definitely saw more of the ball in the second half. Fulham, we obviously was expecting some sort of, you know, a response. We was expecting some sort of reaction, and we got it. But overall, in terms of clear-cut chances or anything like that, they couldn't live with us, man. They didn't really offer much. We move, ladies and gentlemen. That was the player ratings with analysis, and hope you enjoyed the video. And please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the aftermath video of the weekend's games. See ya.